enough Archie Bunker talk because our guest is on the line and he's waiting. So let's get him on here. It's time to welcome. This should be like National Guitar Night because let's welcome another insanely killer guitarist, the one, the only Mike Campese. Mike, how are you?
Oh, awesome. You got my name right, man. Awesome. nice to meet you guys. Yeah, because people always pronounce it Campese and Campese. That's great. You kind of got it right the first time.
I'll tell you what. What I do is I'll go through and I'll search YouTube and see like where people have interviewed you to get the name right. Because a lot of times
that's smart.
Yeah, because I'll totally like Michelangelo. I didn't know it was Batio. I was going to call him Bateo.
Yeah, Batio. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Batio.
Yeah. Crazy. So how you doing, man?
Oh, great. It's great to talk to you.
Yeah, you too.
It's great to be on the line
exciting.
here at Totally Driven Radio.
Yeah, man.
So
all right, so let's... What's that?
You're East Coast, too.
Yeah, absolutely. We're down in Philly, and you're, where are you, New York?
New York. Yeah.
Nice. We have a New York...
warm.
Yeah, it's been beautiful the last few days. And then it's going to rain tomorrow.
Yeah. It's always a sad ending.
I'm telling you. They tease us with a couple days of nice sunshine, and then they bring it back with the rain.
Yeah, and in the snow, and you know how it is in the East Coast. It's just like it's never a dull moment.
Never.
But,
too funny. So all right, so let's learn about you. Let's go back in time, and let's. Now, when did you actually start playing?
I was about 13 years old when I officially picked the guitar up. About around 13, my brother played a little acoustic guitar, and he used to strum a little bit, and he kind of showed me a couple chords, and then I really wanted to play drums at first. It's kind of a funny story. I wanted to play drums at first. My parents, they were just like, "Oh, no drums, like you're gonna be banging, gonna be loud," and then I bugged them for I bugged them for a long time, and I still didn't get a drum set. And one day, my sister and her boyfriend at the time, they brought home a bass guitar they got at a garage sale, and I was like, "Oh, a bass!" So I was like, like bass. I really wanted to play guitar, but I was like, "Oh, bass!" So it was like older looking bass. It was really dirty looking and stuff, and I polished it up. I polished it nice, and I got it all like sparkly, shiny. And the next day, I went to the local music store. I traded in for a guitar, and there was this guy at the music store. He'd always give everybody deals, like these insane deals. Like you'd think you have no money, right? You'd be like, "Oh, I give this amp and this guitar for $200." I'm like, "Really? That's an amazing deal." You'd think that you wouldn't go out and just go buy it. So I call my mom quick. I was like, "Oh my God, this guy, the guy at the owner of the store is giving me a guitar and amp for like $200. It's a crazy deal." And I called my mom, and she ran up to the mall, and we bought the guitar, and that's where it all started, basically. And I, took lessons for a long time, and I was really big. I loved the guitar so much. I was into Black Sabbath. That was my favorite band of all time, and
cool.
Crazy with the Black Sabbath riffs, and it was just so that's basically how it began. Pretty much is.
So it's all Tony Iommi's fault.
Yeah, a lot of he's my very first. I mean, I still respect those guys a lot. I mean, I still love those guys. But yeah, that's kind of got me hooked. I think it was the very first Black Sabbath album I picked up, and I just like that kind of got me hooked with the guitar riffs, and I brought it into my teacher, like the songs, and it kind of evolved from there. I was into Ronnie Dio and
nice.
All the heavy metal bands, like the guitar-driven bands, Iron Maiden, Led Zeppelin, all those kind of bands, and learned a lot of the guitar riffs, and was always in bands, jamming with my friends, and so that's how it began. And eventually, I just evolved over the years, like listening to different music. Got into the shred scene, Yngwie, and I was always into the classical kind of thing, like the classical violin. My dad was a violin player.
Okay.
A real long time ago. Way back. But I just, I was always into. I was like really fast, kind of technical, kind of playing. But it started off first with the Black Sabbath stuff and kind of evolved. But yeah, I can go on and on about. I can just rattle on, but I'll make some breaths for you to talk.
So, is it safe to say like you kept saying Sabbath? Like Tony Iommi is truly the one person that really made you want to pick up a guitar?
Yeah. Well, I'd say yes. I mean, I don't know. I just always wanted to play. I would say Black Sabbath and those that Black Sabbath, Dio, that era. I just kind of like it inspired me to play guitar. I mean, it's like I liked a lot of other music at the time too. I listened to it was mostly Dio, Sabbath, Iron Maiden, those kind of like guitar-driven bands, Deep Purple,
right?
So yeah, that's how it all kind of started. It just like that very first Black Sabbath album was like that kind of changed me after I heard that album. That first album. I remember walking to the mall and like buying that album and just putting it on. Like it's like, oh my god. Then I started buying the rest of the albums, and you kind of learn the riffs, how to play the songs. You bring them to the teacher. Then I started getting pretty good at figuring out stuff by ear, and I'd bring in some crazy guitar, fast Yngwie stuff to him. And actually, Al Di Meola was a big influence. Probably before Yngwie. My brother was a big Di Meola fan. He still is, and but I remember he used to like bring these albums into my bedroom when I was practicing. He goes, "Oh, check this guy out." I'm like, holy shit, man, this guy is freaking crazy. It was like insanely fast kind of stuff. And that was before Yngwie. That was right before Yngwie came out, like right before. Like then when I heard the Yngwie stuff, I was kind of like already prepped up for that stuff. So it was kind of like it was a good prep. You know what I mean? It was like just hearing Al Di Meola and that just fast, that crazy guitar playing. Returned Forever was one of the albums. I can't think of the name of the album. I think it was. I'm trying to remember the name of the album that I heard originally. But then I got into his kind of stuff too. So it all evolves. Like when you're listening, it kind of your playing evolves what you're listening.
Right.
Listening to.
Right. And it becomes your own, and you evolved it into your own.
Well, yeah. You listen to what you like able to play a lot of times, and then you kind of advance, and that becomes really easy, and you move on to the next thing, and so it's just one. It just evolves over time. Sorry.
I was gonna say you kept saying you would bring a song or whatever into your guitar teacher to teach to you. Did you ever bring something in and they tell you don't want to learn that?
No, my teacher was a jazz teacher. Like he was like jazz. And I was bringing Black Sabbath, like Ronnie. I was bringing Last in Line solo, all those kind of like those fast Vivian Campbell kind of solos. He never told me that. He never said, "Hey man, you should bring in some Wes Montgomery." But he used to show me jazz stuff in between. Like he used to show me jazz chords. I was like learning Last in Line solo or Rainbow in the Dark solo or something, and he'd all right, here's this jazz chords again, which is actually great because he slipped in the stuff that I had to learn, which is he was a great teacher, and it's just I'm so glad he did that because it makes me more versatile by knowing all this other kind of music, and it kind of gets me exposed to other stuff. But he never told me that don't bring this stuff in. And actually, he told me years later that he used to go home and practice a lot because I brought in some crazy music all the time. He used to practice, practice all the stuff I brought in, and he would try to get ready for the stuff that we were working on, or he goes, I had to practice a lot the stuff that you brought in. I was bringing the most craziest stuff.
That's funny. Because I used to bring, I would bring stuff into my guitar teacher when I was a teenager, and he used to tell me like half of the time, like, you don't want to learn that. What do you listen to that junk for? And he was
one of those guys.
Well, he was. It was funny because he was like a metal guitarist. He used to play in the band with Pete Way, Wasted.
Wasted. I've heard the name sounds familiar.
They were their big claim to fame was like they were on that tour, the infamous Ozzy Motley Crue tour for the Bark at the Moon tour. So I
might have seen that. That's a Jake Lee and guitar. I might have seen that tour, I think.
They were the opener. So I would bring him in stuff like the New York Dolls and goofy stuff like that. He'd be like, dude, this is junk. Like, you don't want to learn this. Like, I'm like, dude, it's Johnny Thunders. He's like, no. You don't want to learn this.
Well, you have to be, you know what I mean? You have to, the guitar, you have to have fun, and you have to, I mean, what was I going to say? It's like, that's what got you inspired to play it, so you have to kind of, you know, it's not, you still play that music you love, you know, as long as you evolve into versatile, you know, there's nothing wrong with playing that music. There's a lot of benefits, especially as a guitar player that's learning, you know, rhythm and all that stuff, and pentatonic scale, you know what I mean? All that stuff there's always purpose to everything. As long as you like advance, evolve. After you learn that, you're going to say to yourself, "Wow, it's kind of easy. Maybe I should learn something. You know, maybe I should do some more technical stuff." That usually happens as you get playing. I found that from my experience.
No, you're very technical. Like, I mean, watching you. Like, when did you start crossing that bridge over to the technical, like, to the style you play now?
Actually, I've always probably, oh my God, probably when I was like about 15, probably around the time of like, I first heard like Al Di Meola, then like Yngwie got popular at the time. Around when I was like 15 probably. I was really fast after the first year I started playing guitar for some reason. I don't know. It just kind of came to me. Like, the speed was a natural thing. Like, I remember, like, I was doing the high school battle of bands, and we were playing Yngwie tunes. I was like 15. I was like 15. We were doing, like, all these crazy songs. Because I was, like, prepared because of the Al Di Meola thing. I was already listening to that stuff. So when that Yngwie stuff came out, I was like, oh, you know, that's kind of similar. Just that's a little more, maybe more harmonic minor kind of stuff. But about 15, I was doing a lot of the shred guitar, and we used to play the high school shows, and I used to play crazy fast, just like all the time, just insanely quick. I went to GIT in Hollywood, California. I got a little more open to other styles of music. I just got open to other kind of things and other styles, and but that kind of got me open. Just like, you know, funk kind of stuff, or, you know, I like the blues stuff from, like, you know, Hendrix and things like that. But I was insanely hyper kid just playing lots of 30-second notes, and I've got, over the years, I've learned, you know, writing and more melodic is, you know, it's more, to me, it's, if the speed is good, but if you don't know how to use the speed, it's not good to me. It's like,
right.
Writing music to me is really important, and melody. That's where it's all at. I mean, you can learn to play fast, but you have to kind of have melody in it, and you know, rhythm, and so it's there's a lot to it. But yeah, the speed. I was always naturally quick. After the first year I started playing, I think it was because when I first started playing, I didn't practice as much. I practiced, after the first year, I practiced crazy a lot. But the first few months, I wasn't sure how much I should practice and stuff, so I kind of, it just took off. After, like, it happened very quick, right after the first year. And I started working on some, you know, more less pentatonic kind of stuff. And just, it just kind of happened, and I put a lot of practice in it. And I always played a lot.
when you go to a school like GIT,
Yes.
I mean, what do you do? Like, I mean, do you just have like classes each day and you're just sitting there playing guitar? I mean,
it's actually it's all guitar. When I was going there, it was all guitar, and there was core classes that you had to take, and there's elective courses that you sign up for. You could kind of make your own schedule. You have to take your own. The core classes you have to take, like the ear training and like reading class. Then you kind of take other classes, like elective classes, like jazz harmony, or fusion class. So basically, the day would start about like 10 o'clock, like the actual classes, and I'd be there like 5 o'clock every single day, because I had a very full schedule. I took a lot of the classes, like extra classes, and there's open counselings, and then you play inside the school. There's like performance credits, like you get credit every time you play in school, like on stage or in the class. So like I was like from like 10 to like 5 or 6, but then I would get up like 5 o'clock in the morning and make coffee and practice for like 3 or 4 hours before school. Then I would get home and practice till I went to bed.
Wow.
Every single day. It was all guitar. It was all like you bring the guitar to your classes, and there's like 30 kids in the class, whatever, and like everybody has guitars, and the teacher would have his guitar, and they would they'd write stuff on the chalkboard, show stuff on the guitar. It depends on the class. Like your training class, we'd we really use the guitar. Reading class, we had the guitars. Theory class, we had the guitar. Sometimes we take it out, but mostly it's your guitar. You bring it to class and you have it right there, and that's the best schooling for me. Is I don't want to go to school to learn other stuff besides. If I'm going to school to learn guitar, I'm not going to want to learn social studies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's one of the reasons why I went to this school, too, is like, I want to just learn how to, learn to get better at guitar, and not extra filler courses that you got to take for extra credit. So, I mean, I was taking country class, I was taking fusion class, jazz class. There was all these. I wasn't doing much rock, though. It's kind of weird because I already because I had so much rock. I mean, not that I mean, there was rock classes, but the school was kind of a jazzy based kind of school, and basically,
right.
I've done the rock for so long, so I just was taking all the fusion classes, and I would there was guys like Paul Gilbert, like I'd go to their classes and that kind of stuff. So like, there's some amazing teachers that's out there. So it's basically you could go to a jazz teacher and stay with him, and go to like a rock teacher, and so I was basically like everywhere in the school. The funk classes, the odd meter classes, and so
it's wild to think that like there's all these different that they actually have different classes for each, like basically like a genre of style of playing, and you're taking basically all of them. And I mean, I had to help you tremendously with your whole style of playing.
Well, yeah, it kind of opens you up. And like when I was going to school, I was playing some jazz, some jazz standards and stuff like that, and different kind of jazz stuff. And I was doing rock too. And but I like to apply the concepts to rock, like use jazz harmony and like the jazz approach and apply it to the rock. So it's more like I call it like a rock fusion. It's like a fusion, because I like distortion, and
right.
Like some of the jazz to me can be kind of stiff. Some of it is I'm not saying all of it, but some of it, like they don't bend notes a lot of times, or I like bending notes, and so I like the fusion guitar playing, like Scott Henderson kind of fusion, and Alan Holdsworth, that kind of stuff I like a lot. So I figure like all the stuff I've learned, I just it happens naturally. Like you learn it, then you kind of forget it, and you kind of it becomes part of your style. But applying the way of thinking to rock, to me, is what I like to do. Is just playing over changes and using other scales, like the melodic minor and that kind of thing. Cause I like the energy. I like the energy of rock because that's it's more aggressive. I like jazz too. Don't get me wrong. I just like the energy of rock-based music, fusion. So I call it rock fusion. My style kind of is.
What class do you think helped you the most?
Class. Trying to think. It's a tough question because there's a lot of great classes. I mean, there was single string classes. There was single string concepts. There's some really great classes where like you got to play like every scale, every arpeggio off every finger, everywhere in the guitar.
Wow.
That was a great class. That was a really great class. You had to play everything off every single finger, every position, like every scale. That kind of stuff is just like that really opens you up. And there was a lot of great classes. I had some really great teachers. I mean, I can rattle a bunch of names off, but there's so many just amazing. Players that are just like totally respected in the rock and jazz and funk world, whatever. It was just.
Well, you mentioned Paul Gilbert.
Yeah, he was the regular. He was like the open. He had classes like open counseling classes like twice a week, or 2 to 3 times a week, and he would have you could walk into his room and ask him anything you want. You could jam with them, and there was a lot of guys like that were there.
Now, how's something like that? I mean, like here's Paul Gilbert. He fame with in his early days with was it Racer X? And
Mr. Big, yeah.
Right, and then here you're having the chance to sit down and talk with him and then play with him. I mean, is that very intimidating?
Yeah, he was amazing. Like, I mean, he was actually more in person. The stuff he used to do is like it's so clean, and this back then, and it's like, oh my God, it's like he was a very clean, precise player. It's funny, like we back with Mr. Big. I remember like walking to the bathroom, I see Paul hanging up flyers for Mr. Big to vote for his band for the video.
Right.
It's actually really cool. It was really cool, but like they could walk into his room, and like there was let's see, there's so many different people. Like I had Norman Brown every day. He was like he's pretty popular now in the jazz world. Like he's like kind of like George Benson kind of style, and he was like my teacher. Like every day. He was like a jazz, like a George Benson kind of player, like it's like pop jazz basically. But he was an amazing teacher. But just that environment was just like it's opened my mind up a lot to other styles of music.
Now,
so
I mean, the style you play now is, I mean, what would you categorize it? Like, I mean, shredded guitar.
I call it rock fusion because it's rock based, but I have other kind of styles in there that just kind of happened just throughout the years. But if you listen to my stuff, I also have acoustic. I mean, I have 8 CDs now, and
cool.
I have acoustic CD. It's all acoustic stuff, and you'd hear different influence in there, like a little bit of flamenco in there. There's Indian kind of stuff, and
nice.
There's just different things. I like to kind of change it up a little bit. But I call it just rock fusion because it's easier to put a label on it. It's like rock.
Sure.
It's fused with like some jazz harmonies. I like classical music a lot too, so it's like there's classical harmonies in there, but I don't really think about too much. Like, okay, I'm going to write just a funk song, and I'm going to write just a blues song. It just kind of comes out now.
Right.
Just over the years, learning all this different stuff, it's kind of part of your playing. But I always like to push myself.
You have 8 solo albums out.
Yes.
So it's all, is you playing most of the instruments on there, or?
Yeah, most of the stuff is me playing on. I do all the bass and all the guitar. I do a little bit of keyboards in there, and I do sing a little bit. I'm not really a singer, but I do some singing in there. There is some of the drums I did myself, like programming and things like that. But I had some session drummers play on the CD. And it had, the older CDs, they had a different bass player that played on some of the older recordings. But now most of the album, I do all the bass. I do all the instruments mostly on the albums. It's just a little easier to do that.
Right.
I shouldn't say easier, but it just takes longer. But you kind of know what you kind of want, then you kind of just put it down. I mean, on the earlier CDs, I did go, I used to go in the studio and just lay down all the stuff. It's the albums get done a lot quicker, but I like doing it myself, and I probably will do another CD with the whole band and go in the studio and just bang it out because get it done in a week or so instead of taking a couple months or whatever.
Right.
It's just really tedious work. I mean, the guitar is the quickest part of the whole thing. The programming and all the recording, it's just a whole different thing. But now, I like composing a lot.
Well, when you're doing it, I mean, like, now to me, because you're saying how you like to do it all yourself, and I'm the same way. I like to do things myself. I'm like kind of like a control freak because I like to.
Yeah.
I feel like if somebody else is doing it, they're not going to be doing it the way I want it. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
So is it hard for you?
If you write a song. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Because if you write the song yourself, you kind of know what you kind of want already. So the tough thing is, your band, because it's like, if you have a band, it's like, the band just plays the music. Like you tell, here's the song, like they can put their own spin on some things. I'm not that controlling, but the actual song, I know exactly how I want to go, like how the bass I want to go. And by the time I have the bass player come over, I can just do it myself quick. But I've done it for a long time, but I do like working with bands, and and going, I've been in the studio with bands before, and I don't like writing with bands, so I know that. Just from previous experiences, like writing.
Sure.
You're writing with writing as a whole band. Usually it's like one or two guys would do the writing. If it's a whole band writing at the same time, it's frustrating because you have, one guy would want, hey, how about this, and like, then it starts becoming, everybody's like fighting over stuff. But usually one or two guys in a band usually write the music. Most of the time, a singer or a guitar player write the music, whatever.
Right. Even so, it carries over to like the live shows too, because I was going through and watching stuff on YouTube, and everything I saw is basically just you. With there's shows with the band. I do both. Like sometimes I do solo. Sometimes I have a band. Like I have a bass player and a drummer. Depends on the situation. If it's a specialty kind of show, I'll do like a backing track kind of thing. Right.
If it's traveling, or if the budget's not there, I'll do it myself. Or if it's a trade show, I'll do it myself. But in clubs, I use a band, and I like having a band. Actually, the energy is good with the band. Sometimes things aren't like I want them to go,
Sure.
Because you're used to hearing the music a certain way, but Yeah, I go back and forth. There is some stuff online with the band, but recently I've been doing more like solo kind of stuff, which is, it has its place. It works great in certain places, and it doesn't work great in certain places. Like I know in bars, people want to see a band, like a drummer bashing out the tunes and a singer like that. But I sing and play guitar in between instrumentals, and just a three-piece the band is. That's how I like it.
Right. Yeah, the one thing you said there too that really stood out, which as soon as you said it, I was like, wow, I didn't even think of it from that point of view, was the energy. It would be hard for me to be able to get a good energy going by myself. Like even like when I do this show, like even though he's quiet right now, like I have my co-host Nick, and if like if he's not there, like my energy is completely different.
Oh yeah, you kind of feed off each other.
Absolutely. So I would imagine.
It's like,
yeah,
you feed off each other, and I mean, by myself, I mean the music does pump me up. I mean, but the crowd, the crowd. I think with the band, the crowd it reacts more with the energy for a live band. But I mean, I can, it does pump me up, but just over the music, basically, like the backing track is all the same, pretty much. It doesn't.
Right.
It's it's the same as the CD, and like bands aren't like the CD live.
This is true.
If they're not playing all tracks, but if a live band, like you go and see Led Zeppelin. Well, I mean I never seen Led Zeppelin, but I'm saying a band like Led Zeppelin or like Black Sabbath, and you go see the concerts, like oh my god, like the energy from the stage is kind of like freaking, it's crazy. But if you just pop a CD on, it's not the same. But I do give as much energy as I can by myself, and I get in, try to get into it as much as I can. So, but yeah, the band. I mean, the band does work. I like doing both, definitely. So you'll see some stuff.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
I was going to say, like, has any bands like come and offered you a spot, like, say, like big name bands, like say, like now just theoretically speaking, like a Black Sabbath? Has somebody ever come along like that and said, hey, Mike, would you consider, trying out for the band?
I said yes. Yes, I would. I mean, I would definitely do. I like doing like side kind of work. I mean, I would definitely do that if offers, and because I like doing solo stuff, and I like doing. I mean, my solo stuff is my favorite thing to do, but like I would like
sure.
backing people up, and it's a whole different thing, and it's I would be open to it. Definitely.
Cool. Now, you mentioned, too, about the trade shows, and, the biggest trade show there each year is the NAMM show, the beginning of the year they do. And I saw, a bunch of videos from this past year when you were there. And now you play. How many times did you play there? I think I saw a thing where you played multiple times at different booths each day or something.
This year? Yeah, this year was like 3 or 4 times a day. And usually it's like, a couple times, but this year was crazy. I mean, originally I was getting scared, like, oh my god, this year is going to be like dead. I mean, what the hell am I going to do? There's not many places. All of a sudden, I got a lot of offers. I said, I'm going to play here, I'm going to play my... I was like, sure. And I was like, I had the schedule. I was like, oh my god, it's like 12 o'clock this place, 1 o'clock this place, 2 o'clock this place. So I'm like running around the convention center, and I had this photographer and his wife. They were like taking pictures, and we were running around the place, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, I love playing. I mean, I'd rather play than just hang out. I mean,
sure.
And plus, I got stuff. I saw stuff I had to see. So it was actually a good year. I mean, because I always have like a goal, like okay, I'm gonna visit this booth. I'm gonna check this thing out. I'm gonna play, and make sure I get the playing in. I get the going to different booths and seeing different things. I didn't do a lot of nightlife kind of stuff. Like because I don't want to be out all night and the next day I'd be just dead for performances. So I'd kind of didn't go all the crazy parties, but I just did a couple different things, but at nighttime. But mainly it was just performing and
Nice.
It was pretty busy.
Yeah, because I was just thinking as I was watching the videos, I'm like, I wonder if he was he would perform at one booth and literally just get off of that, unplug, and just walk around with his guitar still strapped on and his cord go to
I definitely put in the case. Yeah, I put in the case and it's it's just crazy. It was actually really busy this year too, so it's you couldn't really walk in that place. It was just people everywhere. Do you go? You been to NAMM?
I've never been there. I've never been there. That's what I see every year.
Actually, Friday and Saturday it was a madhouse. Even Thursday was busy this year. I was wow.
Wow.
And Sunday was kind of dead. Sunday's usually a quiet day. It's the day you can run around and your final kind of visits to places before they close out.
See, that would be the day I went.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just it's a lot of stuff goes on, and sometimes you can't start exactly on time like you want to. If say there's a meeting going on, you have to wait a little bit, so that throws off the schedule, and
right.
There's always little obstacles sometimes. There's man police. If you can't play too loud and stuff like that. You have to be careful of the volume. But actually, matter of fact, this year I played pretty loud. I thought, but the probably loudest I ever played. Man, I was nuts. I was freaking. I was wow, nobody said anything. I was blasting. It was really loud. Because usually there's man police and they try to shut you down. But they even came over and watched. I was holy shit, they're gonna shut me down. But they didn't say anything.
Wow.
So it's well, they said it sounds right. But yeah,
cool.
Usually they're really strict. They're usually okay, you guys gotta turn it down or get out. but we had some stuff. Yeah, we had to crank that, which is good because it attracts more people.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're just a silent guitar player, nobody's gonna hear you. Nobody's gonna walk by and say, "What's going on over there?"
Yeah, right.
But
now how about
Trans-Siberian
Orchestra?
Yes.
Now, were you part of that for a while, or?
Yeah, well, back in 2004 and 2005, I auditioned for that band back then, and I got I got the what was I gonna say? Back then, yeah, I got part of the band back then. It's been a little while since I've been part of it. I've been so wrapped up in my own stuff. I'd love to do that again. But yeah, back then I auditioned, and it was a really great audition. It went amazing. Actually, it was awesome. It was just
nice.
It was a really great feeling. Showing up to audition. You know how auditions usually are, but it wasn't like the typical audition.
Huh.
And I felt I played great, and everybody was all happy, and it's definitely a great experience, and really talented band, and everybody's amazing in that band.
Cool.
Yes. I also had a Christmas CD myself. I put out 2008, and that's doing. People like that one a lot too. I'm not sure if you heard that one at all.
No.
It's called The Meaning of Christmas. It's got a couple originals on there, but it's mostly remakes of the classic Christmas tunes, and I kind of did it my own way. And
nice.
It was a very fun project, and it happened very quick. I did it in about 2 months, and it came out. I'm really happy with that CD. Really happy with that.
Yeah, that's the thing to do now. Those Christmas, everybody's doing them, and they come out to hear those classic Christmas songs done, with a guitar or metal or hard. I mean, it's just a nice spin on it, and just it brings it to life in a whole new way.
Yeah, it does. Because we've been hearing those Christmas tunes since we're kids, and it's like we got to there's got to be something else to do to them. That's why I put new sections to them, and there's new spins and different, the time signature, or just a whole new. You have to. Those tunes have been around for so many years, and there's a lot of great Christmas tunes out there. And
right.
I'd like to do another Christmas CD again. Definitely again. I'd definitely love to do another one.
Cool.
But yeah, something that's you got to do.
now, something else you do too, which I was talking earlier in the show to my co-host Nick, and that you do online guitar lessons through Skype.
Yes, I do. Yes. I do.
Now,
Skype.
I was gonna say, I was thinking to myself, like, I wonder if you ever have like a fan will sign up to get a lesson from you, and they just want to talk with you. It's like not even an actual lesson.
Yes, I teach privately, private lessons in New York, and I do Skype as well. But yes, I had students before come to me, and they show me their pictures, and yeah, you get that sometimes. I've had some crazy stories, but it's, yeah, over the years, I teach privately, and you get women that might like you and stuff, and they come in, they don't really want to play guitar, they want to just hang out with you and stuff, and
wow.
But nothing happens, and it's not like that,
right?
But they flirt with you, and this. Yeah, I know.
The life of a musician, right?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, one girl, she showed me she brought her pictures. She talked about to show me different things, and she kind of disliked me, but there's a way to kind of talk to me, like, you know what I mean? Like, she really didn't know how to play guitar, but she signed for lessons. But it happened a few times. It happens. It's like just people. That's a way they can get close to you and talk to you.
Sure.
But normally, no. Normally people, they serious about the guitar, and they want to learn, and but it's a cool feeling when the student likes you're playing and admires what you do, because it does help. They kind of look up to you more. You know what I mean? They look up to you and they listen to you more, because they know that you know what you're talking about. Like, you have some guy that just works in a music store and just teaches guitar that has no background. You know what I mean? So it's like,
right.
I write for guitar magazines, and I try to be out there as much as I can, and that kind of helps, and so that the student can kind of ask questions about things, and I can get them professional answers from experience too. So it's so you get both of the extremes. You get people that really want to learn, the people that just want to hang out.
That's wild. That is totally wild. All right, yeah, so the latest album is, which one is that?
It's called Chameleon.
Okay.
Chameleon. Yeah, that's the latest one. Latest CD. It came out late 2013. Real late. I'm working on another one now. It's like acoustic electric mixture.
Oh, cool.
Originally it was going to be acoustic, all acoustic. Then I couldn't resist the distortion and stuff. So so a few songs are going to have some rock guitar in there.
Sure.
It's going to be a lot of acoustic, because I put out an acoustic CD back. I think it was 2007. It was Hidden Treasures. It's all acoustic. Cause that's another part of my playing is acoustic. I love acoustic guitar playing, and it's kind of part of my passion. So it's time for another one. So I wrote a bunch of songs. I'm working on that now. So I'm doing right now as we speak. I'm working on the CD, and So it's almost done. I mean, I'm taking my time with it. So hoping in like the fall I'll put it out or something around there.
Nice. Nice.
Usually every year or two I put out a CD. Every year or two I try to put it out. So it's coming around that time for another CD.
It's time. You're due.
Yeah, it's about a year and a half now. So it's. I mean, the thing about the CDs is like you got to make sure you promote the CD. I mean, if you put out a bunch of CDs and don't promote them, it's kind of you have a house full of CDs.
Right.
It's like how many more closets do you have left? I mean.
Yeah. You don't want that.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been working. I'm taking my time because I can bang the CD out in a couple months, but I want just kind of. I don't want to rush it through. I'm just kind of I mean, most of the tracks are finished. I got to just record another track and mix it and stuff like that. And do the other work takes us the longest. Waiting for the person, the other people to get the other work done, like the artwork and stuff like that.
Right.
Which is not. It's not at the stage yet, though. It's not at that stage yet for that stuff, but it's still in the recording and soon to be mixing pretty soon.
Cool.
So
now, where can everybody get like all your music at?
The first thing is the website. They can get anything off the website, like all the CDs. I have T-shirts, hoodies, lessons. Then besides that, like on all the other sites, like download sites, like iTunes and the CD, Amazon, CD Baby. All the other sites, like all the download, Rhapsody and all those kind of.
Nice. But
mainly the website, the physical CDs, like the website, Amazon, those kind of places. At the moment, I don't have them in the regular stores. I did before, but right now, just online. Right now, I used to have them in stores and like FYE and stuff like that. But I just it's straight out off the website because it's easier to to keep track of everything and stuff. And
right. Cool. How about your social media pages? I have Facebook and Twitter. I have the official Mike Campese Facebook. That's right off the website. You can link onto that. And I have the Twitter Mike Campese. Twitter / Mike Campese, which is twitter.com Mike Campese. But I have official Facebook, and I have a personal Facebook that's kind of filled up, but the official one is all the latest stuff. So I try to keep up to date on the website and the social media as much as I can. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, so off the website you can link to all that stuff.
Cool.
So you can go. There's links to that, and there's any news or interviews or the latest information. Awesome.
Anything else you want to throw out there? Because we'll go off the air in 10 minutes, and I want to make sure I get your song in.
I think we covered just about everything. I mean, we covered this. We kind of took it up from the beginning, which is kind of pretty amazing in like 45 minutes.
Now, this song is called Raise the Bow.
Raise the Bow.
Is this off the Chameleon?
Yes, track 3 of Chameleon.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
all right, so everybody needs to go to your website, buy your merchandise, buy your albums, buy your hoodies, and take guitar lessons, even if you don't want to play guitar.
Yep.
Too funny.
Yeah, bring a guitar to make it look good. No, I'm joking. It's like, where's that guy going? No guitar. Where's that guitar? It's some funny stories about that stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah.
So, all right, I want to thank you. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you. It's been great fun.
Cool. And the song is called Raise the Bow.
Yes.
It's off the Chameleon CD, his latest CD. New one will be coming soon, hopefully by the end of the year. So here it is. Let's crank it up. Let's play it. Let's do it. And Mike?
Play it loud, and it's definitely a headbanging tune. It's a heavy instrumental shredding piece.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. Well, Mike, thanks again. Have a great night. And
thank you for having me on your show. You guys are really cool, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Cool.
You're welcome.
And let's raise the bow.
Yes, raise the bow. Yes.
Here it is. Mike Campese, Raise the Bow.